Hey, how's everybody doing today? Tribes, collective. I'm going to be going off my notes today, um, only because I have so much to cover and I don't want you guys to get lost in the sauce. So I'm going to start off by introducing myself with an introduction. First off, my name is Tori Wilhite. I was born 3/11/1974, so I'm a 311011, birthed in Los Angeles. Traits are I'm anemic, sickle cell. I'm also red-green colorblind. I'm an artist by nature. I was raised on 4119 South Trinity Street, Los Angeles, California, 90011. Ancestral roots are Jackson, Mississippi, and New Iberia, Louisiana. Let me show you that. All right, hopefully you guys can see this here. It's my grandfather, me, my great-grandfather, my cousin, okay? New Iberia, Louisiana, Jackson, Mississippi, family roots. Here's a picture of my great-grandfather here. You see he was born March 3rd, 1892. All right, you see the last name Escloven? Well, his original name is Fontenay. It was changed to Escloven due to the fact that he was raised by his dad's brother. So he changed his name from Fontenay to Escloven. And that's how that occurred. Now, within the past couple of months, I found out exactly who I am. I'm a grid keeper of the earth, Planet Key. How I found out, I'll show you now. Here's a picture I drew. All right, take a good look at that. Look at the date. June 2022. Okay. You see that? All right. Now, here's a picture I took. 9/25. Okay. All right. 3 years, 3 months later. See that? Same picture. That's when I got my first download. From my higher self? I believe so. All right. Well, that's just a little bit about me. Before I go deep into grid keeping, I'm going to be starting off at source. As we get through this transmission and more to come, you'll see how everything unfolds. How my old work as an electrical power line worker ties into my new love. Okay, now to the agenda. Let's get started. First, I'm going to show a short film of the Hopi prophecy. Then I'll get a little bit into the Pistis Sophia story. After that, we'll go over some symbols and what they represent. 3-Eye Atlas and voice my opinion. Also, then I'll end the session with 3-Eye Atlas with a demo. Second, we'll be going over what a grid keeper is. So I'm going to be reading out of a book called The Grid Keeper's Spiritual Anchor for Earth's Shift. And this is what the book looks like here. Arthur Randy Peterson. Okay, not too big of a book, but from what I've seen so far, it's been very efficient, very informative. Third, I'm going to be taking you on a field trip. Yes, field trip. I've been having the time of my life the past couple of months. What I've been doing, I can't wait to share. So every transmission, we're going to be taking at least one field trip and a few pages out of this book here. There you go, right here. Okay. All right. Just to let you know, I'm not going to tell you something I don't know. It's up to you and me both to do our homework. Don't forget to get your trip slip signed.
This is the Great Spirit holding the world right here. This is the line that He gave them the path through here. This is a good life all the way to here. If you follow my footsteps, you will live a long life. Before the white man came, they already knew that someday somebody will come around, a white man that take over their land and claim it. White man split them here. This is the road of the white man through here, all the way to here. The elders said this is a rocky road here. They don't know where this leads to. They said this only leads to the destruction of this world.
Okay, we're here at the motherboard. Hope everyone can see this. The title of this lecture is The Three-Way Cosmic Switch. Let me give you a brief overview on what each symbol represents. This symbol here represents Polaris, Sirius, or the Galactic Center, the Great Mother, and many other names. This here is the energy symbol. It's going to represent the three-eye atlas, the 3, the 6, and the 9. Okay, these lines here in green are going to represent the plasma. This here is what you call a three-way switch. Okay. Each switch has 2 portal or gate openings. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right here is what you call the common point of the switch. Each switch has a single door. When the switch is in this position, it's in the closed position. This is the open position. When this door is swung this way, it'll be in this position here. It'll look like this. And that's how that would look. Okay. Each switch has 3 key entry points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. This symbol here represents the DNA. The travelers, messengers, or plasma also represents DNA. This line here is the red Kachina. This line here is the blue Kachina. The blue Kachina represents the father line, red Kachina represents the mother line. This is the sun and its filaments. And this here is Ki, planet Earth. And this is where I'm anchored. Okay. Now that that's covered, I'm going to go back to source and start from there. I'm going to give you a short breakdown of the Pistis Sophia story. That way we can move forward into the lecture. I'm going to be quoting out of the Secret Book of John, found in the Gnostic text from the Nag Hammadi Library. Another place you can find this text is by an author named G.R.S. Mead. He gives a good rendition. Okay, now Sophia, who is the wisdom of insight and who constitutes an aeon. Sophia conceived of a thought from herself, with the conception of the invisible spirit and foreknowledge. She wanted to bring forth something like herself without consent of the spirit, who had not given approval, without her partner and without his consideration. The male did not give approval. She did not find her partner, and she considered this without the spirit's consent and without the knowledge of her partner. Nonetheless, she gave birth, and because of the invisible power within her, her thought was on idle thought. Something came out of her that was imperfect and different in appearance from her, for she had produced it without her partner. It did not resemble the mother, and it was misshapen. When Sophia saw what her desire had produced, it changed into a figure of a snake with the face of a lion. Its eyes were like flashing bolts of lightning. She cast it away from her outside the realm so that none of the immortals would see it. That would be this region right here, out of the womb. She had produced it ignorantly. She surrounded it with a bright cloud and put a throne in the middle of the cloud, so that no one would see it except the Holy Spirit, who is called the Mother of the Living. She named the offspring Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth's world order. This is the first ruler, the Archon who took great power from his mother. Then he left her and moved away from the place where he was born. So after he left out the womb, he migrated down here through the void. He took control and created for himself other aeons and luminous fire which still exist. He made with the mindlessness in him and produced authorities for himself. That was a quote from the text. Okay, with that being said, he came down to this region here, between the second and third gates. The second gate, third gate. He then opened the third gate, with the fourth key, moving the door to the second gate position. That's where we lost the father line. So this is how we look now. Remember, father line, mother line. After he came out of the third gate is when he set up his firmament around the earth. So he came out here, came around, and set up his firmament around the earth, bringing in his false light and the moon on his amniotic fluid, cutting off the mother line. After Sophia regained her light, her womb was closed. Okay, so this is what we look like now. I'll let you guys take a look at this for a minute. One more thing I would like to add that I forgot to mention earlier. This is a three-way household switch. Now, on 12/23/2024, Pope Francis opened the second gate by using the fourth key. That put the door in the third gate position, restoring and giving us back the father line. So this is how we look now. We close this door right here, move it from the gate 2 position to the gate 3 position. Okay, now to the representation of these so-called comets. Comet Lemon, the L equals 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3, the E equals 5, the M equals 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, the O equals 15, 1 plus 5 is 6, the N equals 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. That gives a total of 23. Remember that 23. I'll show you why that's relevant a little later. Excuse me. Also, what does a lemon taste like? It's sour, right? So if you take the S, it represents the serpent or Kundalini energy. The OUR is our Kundalini energy. Now, to Swan. Swan is the observer, the goose that lays the golden egg at the end of the Yuga. Thoth, Tahuti, Melchizedek. Okay, here's a little history on Swan. We had a so-called comet named 210P Christensen enter our atmosphere. It has an orbital period of 5.7 years. It made its perihelion to the sun on 5/26/2023. That gives you the 13 and 7. Once 210P Christensen orbit was determined, it was found that it was the same object as Swan in the Jupiter family. Exactly 1 year, 7 months, 5 days later, which landed on 12/21/2024, that's when Pope Francis opened the second gate back to the original gate 3 position. Okay, so now the numbers on Swan. The S is 19, 1.9, 1 plus 9 is 10. The W is 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. The A equals 1. N is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. You add those up and get 21. Lemon's 23 plus Swan's 21 give you 44. That's the 2 and 2, the telomere caps. Lemon will represent the red, and Swan will represent the blue. Kachina. All right, 3-Eye Atlas. The title of this lecture is going to be named Mother Story, only because it was manufactured by Mattel. Before we go over the connections, let me show you its galactic features. All right, here we have the plasma pump, blue Kachina, red Kachina. Moving on up to Pope Francis, he's holding up the four fingers representing the fourth key position. Okay. That's the key he opened to move the second gate back to the third position. This is how we look now, like I was explaining. Now, since the Pope is no longer, we'll replace the Pope seat with Osiris. All right, now let's get those kachinas going. More plasma, more plasma. They try to turn Elmo into the Elohim. Okay, right above Osiris's head sits the mother canal, right there. That's the womb. It's the womb of the Great Mother to the galactic center. See this here? Now look here. Same concept. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention the 9 here on the 3-eye atlas sits here at the first key point position. Here on the starboard side of the ship, we have Osiris. He's circling in with the knowledge. All right. Coming in on blue kachinas, as he should. Okay, the ship's identification number is here. I'll give you those numbers if you can't see them. 058388 and 05131119. These are dates. Here we have a decal of the Cookie Monster and Abby Cadabby. So the Cookie Monster is going to represent Osiris, and Abby Cadabby is going to represent Isis. Now to the control center. Here we have the sun represented by a light bulb. Yes. K-light. Key light. That's the sounds of the sun. It's coming down. All right. Here we have the hazard lights. Okay. All right. While we're here, we might as well go ahead and dock the ship. Okay. Remember, this is the 3, the 6, and the 9. So we'll have Abby Cadabby, Isis, connect to the 6. We'll have Big Bird connect to the 3. And we'll have Elmo, Osiris, connect here to the 9. All right. All right, let's go ahead and connect Isis to the red kachina. Okay. Let's connect Big Bird to the father line and the sun. And Osiris to make the final connection. All right, successful dock, and we'll move right along. Imagine this. I don't know how your elementary school was, but when school let out, we would go out by the outdoor cafeteria. The boys would grab the carom boards and the basketballs, and the girls would get the blue and red jump ropes. Okay, let's just say this is a girl and this is a girl. head, arm, arm, head, arm, arm. Okay. Now they're turning these ropes double Dutch style. Okay. That's what 3-Eye Atlas is doing. Same concept. Whipping these two ropes together, these two kachinas together. Right? So it builds up an oscillation of energy in here, an inner chi. Right? Once it builds up that chi, the magnetic field lines start to flow. Right? Okay. While this is happening, 3-Eye Atlas is also pumping plasma in the center, in between the two kachinas, causing all three to intermingle. Okay. So now, what's happening with the sun? Okay. When the plasma goes into the sun, it hits the filament, right? The filaments. It then crosses the magnetic fields, right? Building up an electrical charge. Once that charge gets to the top of the umbra, this is the umbra here, right? It runs into inertia, where it slows down. This is where the magnetic fields get strong. It's right up in here. This area causes sunspots. The sunspots and filaments are connected to each other through the magnetic fields, electromagnetically. Once the sunspots start to migrate towards the penumbra, this is the penumbra here, right up top, the inner of the bulb, the inner outer of the bulb. Then you have two or more sunspots intermingling. Excuse me. You have a potential for a CME or coronal mass ejection. When these sunspots become Earth facing and go off, they send plasma to the Earth. It also affects the Earth's magnetic field. Then you have coronal holes. These are the areas of the sun's surface that are darker and cooler. They are associated with open magnetic field lines that allow solar winds to escape. Once these magnetic field lines go out into space, see, from the surface of the sun, they send out UV rays, geomagnetic storms, X-flares, and also neutrinos via the solar winds. Now, let me show you what I think. What I think has happened personally is that the sun is a great big light bulb, ready to burn out. You know, when you turn on a light switch, that old bulb blows, there's a bright flash and then darkness. Okay, I'm going to do a light bulb demo to show you all what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. See, every time that plasma hits, see what's happening in that filament? See that? Eventually, it's going to have so much plasma in there that it can't hold anymore, and that bulb is going to blow. Right? By me saying that, this will be your end result. That's what it's going to look like in the end. Okay? At least that's my opinion.
19. ancient astronaut theorist William Henry has traveled to this UNESCO World Heritage Site to investigate the area's mysterious petroglyphs.
Hi, I'm William.
Hi, I'm Luca.
Nice to meet you.
Joining him is Luca Giarelli, the head of the Val Camonica Historical and Anthropological Society.
This place is massive. Yeah, it's very big, and the rock covers all that area. Are you ready for a hike?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm here at Val Camonica because it is a treasure trove of images from the ancient world that have been well documented and studied by scholars. They don't agree on the meaning of the images, but some of them are very open-minded to the ancient astronaut theory. Luca leads William to an area with a panel of ancient petroglyphs that appears strikingly familiar to modern eyes.
Here we are. Wow. What we have here? We have this one, this figure.
Oh, look at that.
The spaceman.
Spaceman, exactly. Look at the helmet.
Look at the helmet.
Right. It's like he's glowing.
Yeah. And the communion rose.
The communion rose.
It's a strange and mysterious symbol with 9 dots. Was made probably on the first millennium before Christ.
Wow. Archaeologists call this mysterious object the communion rose because of its flower-like shape, while its exact meaning is lost to history. Some believe it to be a religious symbol or a representation of the movement of the stars. But ancient astronaut theorists suggest it might also depict something else, the vessel that brought these helmeted figures to Val Camonica. Look at that, that looks like a spaceship. It's like you'd look up in the sky and you would see this kind of twirling, spinning ship in the sky. It seems to me, just looking at it, they're trying to talk about beings coming from other worlds, maybe to this place.
It could be an expedition.
Tell me about that five-pointed star.
We have a lot of 5-point stars here on this rock, but we don't know what they meaning when they did this particular geometric shape.
Sometimes the stars mean energy, like energy from the stars would come to this place, or star beings would come to this place.
Yeah, it could be an interpretation. We have a lot of mystery about the meaning of the engravings here in Bashmar. We have a different motivation, religious, mythological, and also describing events.
Okay.
So
this is like a newspaper then. It says this was in the sky above us at some point, and this spaceman came down and maybe met the communion people.
it could be.
All right, y'all ready to fly with me and get the planet back right? First, let me get the keys. Now, this is when things get real. 3i Atlas, and also the 12 keys to the universe and more. Yeah. I was given these keys by Thoth. These keys were not to be given out until the turning of the wheel. The wheel is 3i Atlas. The keys were blessed to me on 11/13/2025. I truly think that this information should travel the world, so please share this video. Note, whoever wants to take their consciousness to the next level, there's a beautiful audiobook that was presented by Altrusion Grace Media, named The 12 Keys of Basil Valentine. Right there you can use my drawing as a legend to get a bigger picture of things that will expand your mind. Now, as you can see, the 3i Atlas connection, the 12 keys to the universe, we have our first 6 here that we discussed. Each key has its designated planet, and that'll be the additional 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. That will give you the 12 keys to the universe. As you can see here, the designation. and so on. Now, the wheel, 3-Eye Atlas, is going to continue to spin clockwise until the end of the Yuga. Once it locks in, Lemon will come down to 6 and with key 1. After that, Swan will come in here at the 9 and the 6 and lock in. And that will cap the golden age. And we will then start to maneuver counterclockwise back towards the matriarch way. All right, beautiful thing. All right, you guys want to hear a nursery rhyme by the Elite? Here we go. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. That's how we lost the father line. And there's where we lost the mother line. Okay? Pick up sticks. 7, 8, lay them straight. 9, 10, they want everything was within. They want they try to turn our source, which they did, all of our sources into resources. Stealing all our minerals out the earth, all our crystalline grid energy, and we'll get into that too. A little later. All right, I'm going to be showing you guys some pictures. This here is a picture of a kite. This is the universe in its normal state. Okay, so if you add these numbers up here, you'll get a total of 12. That's the 12 strands. You add these two numbers up here, 5 plus 4, that's the 9 ether. You combine them all, you come out with a total of 21. This point here, the mother, the 1, that gives us the 22 strand. Perfect balance. All right, the universe complete. This is the I am. Got it? All right. Okay, by me saying that, this is the I am. Okay? And this is the I know. Okay, now that we covered 3-Eye Atlas, let's get into a little bit of grid keeping and prepare for the field trip. All right, going to a little grid keeping. We'll start off with the first page. The Grid Keepers, a spiritual guide for stabilizers, planetary anchors, and Earth's hidden frequency workers. Preface. You are the stabilizers, the unseen lighthouses, the pulse holders of Earth's shifting crystalline matrix. You are the quiet strength in times of disruption, the ones who walk in the rooms and change the atmosphere without announcing your presence. You are the living anchors who keep the ground steady when the world trembles. This is not a how-to manual. It is a remembrance, a vibrational alignment, a call to your deeper knowing. If you ever felt out of place in the spiritual community, overwhelmed in public spaces, or strangely on duty during global events without knowing why, you are likely anchoring more than you realize. The sensation you carry in your body, the fatigue that arrives after visiting certain locations, the pressure you feel before crisis erupts, these are not accidents. They are the signs of a grid keeper's work. Grid keepers are energetic stabilizers placed at certain points in the planetary body, consciously or unconsciously, to hold resonance. Some are mobile, walking the lines and redistributing current. Others are fixed anchors, holding down a location through presence, prayer, or frequency. Okay, a little bit of why now. The Earth is alive and evolving. Her crystalline grid, the vast luminous lattice that connects mountains, rivers, deserts, temples, and oceans, is shifting frequency. Old distortions are rising, demanding release. Timelines are diverging, human systems are shaking, and whenever the field destabilizes, the grid keepers are called forward. Now, a few final words before we begin the field trip. Okay. Gatekeepers are not special. They are not chosen above others. They are simply willing to carry what others ignore, to notice what others miss, to embody coherence when distortion dominates. They are the ones who remain still when the ground shakes, the ones who hold presence when panic spreads. All right, for the field trip, we'll be going to El Porto Beach. 33 degrees, 54 feet, 12.14 inches north, and 118 degrees, 25 feet, 17.64 inches west. Here's a copy of the beach. And it reads, El Porto Beach. El Porto Beach is a California public beach managed by the County of Los Angeles, located in Santa Monica Bayside. El Porto, which is now part of the city of Manhattan Beach, between the beaches of El Segundo Beach and Manhattan Beach, and it is protected under the state park system. The entrance to El Porto's large parking lot, which has meters, is at west end of 45th Street from Highland Avenue. El Porto is one of the most popular beaches in the South Bay area, with surfers from near and far because of the underwater canyon that creates waves, usually larger than those at neighboring beaches. These swells have lefts and rights that break over sandbars and are constantly big when other beaches are flat. The breaks can hold waves up to double overhead. El Porto is very close to the Chevron oil refinery and a private corporate electricity producing facility for Edison that uses natural gas. Also very close to City of Los Angeles industrial facilities, namely Hyperion Sewage Treatment Plant and Scattergood electricity facility that uses natural gas to produce the electricity. All right, off we go. Hope you guys enjoy.
triangle. Pyramid. Big hawk right there landing in front of me. Right over the portals. See the two pillars there? That's the portals. And the hawk is telling me to go this way. And I'm going to ground and acupuncture the earth with my light body and open up a portal. Spirit will send me to do this, so I'm on my mission. I'll let you know how it goes when I finish up. Hey, bird. Okay, I'm on my way. All right, made it here to the two pillars. That's one, the light. That's the second. I'll show you the walkway coming in. Coming in, it's a trail already. Got a piece of water and power pole burnt up over here. No power poles nowhere around here. Right. On my way down. Right here. Chill out. Alright, I'm here. Acupuncturing the earth grid. Seaweed. People think I'm crazy. The Ibis bird popped up right in front of me. There goes Cole. Ibis. Yeah. Both the Ibis. Both even showed up. Yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. The name of this beach is Portal Beach. Like a portal, like a door. It's the name of this beach. Throw this back. Oh, there's a portal here with me. Around the water, seeing the water. Get my feet wet. But good. Now that I'm leaving the portals, see that right there? See the portals? Now that I'm leaving, look what show up right in the middle of the pillars. Spaceship right there. Mission.
This is in Monterey County, a large fire at an energy storage facility in Moss Landing.
Yeah, this is basically a power plant where they have these lithium storage batteries. These are live pictures of the fire. We're just taking this right now. It looks like their reporter is on the scene there, also interviewing someone. It's burning at the world's largest lithium battery energy facility. So the building, we understand, has been evacuated. Now, officials are saying that the fire is non-hazardous, but the hazmat team is there. There are no evacuations or shelter-in-place orders outside the facility, but you can see the fire is big when you look at how this picture is in relation to everything else around it, and you can see a big cloud of smoke there coming off that. Authorities urging people in the area to stay inside and close their windows and doors.
Yeah, and we're getting these pictures from our affiliate station, KSBW, in that region. And just looking at some of their past coverage, there have been
This is Eyewitness News. We are streaming on all of our platforms right now, and what you're looking at is an explosion and fire at the Chevron oil refinery in El Segundo. This occurred a little bit before, about 9:45 this evening, and the El Segundo Fire Department is responding along with other fire agencies from the South Bay. It looks like 2 locations, or really 3, where there are flames visible. These 2 stacks that apparently are venting some of the gas and the explosive gases from the incident. Where the main fire is, though, is right here. We're going to try to find out what exactly was being worked on there, but we are feeling or getting more information about what is there. This is, of course, an oil refinery, so petroleum products are made there, gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, we presume, and you see something being jetted out the side of that structure. Very hot. People all over the South Bay reported seeing, feeling, hearing the explosion as
All right, hopefully you guys enjoyed the field trip. Next transmission, I'll do part 2 to the Chevron trip. And I think I might do the first of my Trilogy Trinity trips. I'll also be going over the Iroquois creation story and, of course, some grid keeping. Please like, subscribe, and share. Please share. Just to let everyone know that the knowledge is free. But if you want to help support the channel, my Cash App is $lowercase CTEEZ11. And on the K note, I'm out of here. The wheels of the shit go round and round, round and round. The wheels of the shit go round.